Morning, everybody. Welcome to my channel. It's 8:12 a.m. It is August 13th. Welcome. Now, this market's imbalance. Okay, yesterday, NASDAQ ripped up, fell off. Same thing with the ES. Tried to break out, couldn't do it. This is typical balance, right? So we stay in balance. Still bullish, all right, in my opinion. Volume has fallen off a cliff. Okay, it's typical August crap, all right? Now we have PPI today. Applied Materials reports earnings after the close. Cisco reported yesterday, I believe, and they weren't good, but it's not really taking down the tech that much. Okay. Yesterday, I did have two trades. One long, I took a loss, and then I went long again shortly right after that. It only got me by like a point. And then that one hit for a 200% return or a 2R. Okay, so yesterday was a positive day, and for the week I'm flat. All right. So, this is not an awesome market to trade. Still moves like a market should move. However, you gotta really get in there early. My trade was, I think I might have got in there before noon, but then it was like in there past noon. And boy, with low volume and past noon, whew, could be a snooze fest. Okay, I'm gonna try. There was a bunch of times I almost went short yesterday that would have worked out, and then Trump had a Truth Social post about controlling the Strait of Hormuz or something like that that gave the market a little liquidation break, which didn't really mean much. I literally was almost short prior to that news break, but yeah, markets are definitely in low volume. All right, definitely summer. All right, let's get into it. Welcome to my channel. My name is Stephen Gonzalez. He's market profile and volume profile to find structure in the markets along with supply and demand. GAM exposed levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. That's how I come up with my game plans and my scenarios. All right. Now, once that market opens up, I use my market internals to show me where money flows are going off the open, along with little ICT, Anchor VWAPs, the weekly expected move indicator I give away for free for Thinkorswim on my Discord, as well as the weekly and monthly Gamma flip points I give away for free on my Discord as well. Hopefully you join me every morning. Subscribe, set that alert. Give you the market story, the market news, the economic calendar, technical analysis, and always give you the long and short trade scenarios and NASDAQ and ES futures later on in the stream. Okay. Now, if you want more in-depth coverage, you're going to join my Discord. That's Confluence Trading. Go to my YouTube homepage, click on the link, and sign up. What are you waiting for? Let me be your indicator. Okay. There was something I was just going to say, and I don't remember what it was. But we're going to move on. Okay. Boom, futures. Let's look at it. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Again, since PPI is coming out, right? I might not be able to. Now, yesterday I was able to give you guys scenarios before I had to take off. But today, again, if it's really hot or really big miss, that could move our markets, and I might not give a chance to give you the scenarios. Hopefully, it's nothing burger. Okay. So let's look at futures. Now, the Dow is the leading today, up 0.30. Ethereum up 0.21. It's a very muted market. Okay. Russell's up 0.21, Ethereum up 0.21, Bitcoin up 0.21. 30-year bonds are being bought. ES up 0.15, VIX up 0.14. VIX is at a 14.57, by the way. Nasdaq's flat, dollar's flat, 10-year yield is down 0.34. Gold is down 0.5%. Silver is down 0.80. Okay. Crude is down 2%. Crude is down 2% today. Okay. Move on to the little Mag 7 Plus list. Netflix is up 2%. I don't know why. Okay. Now, that's a very key level, 75. It's over 75. I tried to go over there once before. Okay. This could possibly launch Netflix. It's been beaten down. So we'll have to see. Eli Lilly up 0.63. JP Morgan up over 0.5%. Google got hammered yesterday. Mag 7 pretty much got hammered yesterday, minus Nvidia. Okay. Microsoft up 0.45. All right. Very muted here. Let's just go. AMD down 0.5%. Tesla's down 0.64. They pushed up and just got slaughtered. All right. So uh, Micron's down 0.64. Micron just really had, well, that's not true. Micron was hanging around the 860s, 850s. It did gap up and held. So that made a little bit of a move. All right. Let's go to top sectors list here. Who's leading? Salesforce up 1.70, followed by Visa up over 0.5%. McDonald's up over 0.5%. Who's lagging? I'm going to assume it's some energy stocks here. Yep, Exxon down 0.39, Oracle down 0.72, and the mining stock down 1.42. So metals are pulling back today. That's basically what that means. All right, sectors. Financials up 0.35, utilities up 0.27, healthcare up 0.12, communications up 0.12, staples flat. Semis down slightly, slightly. Energy is your laggard. This is a very muted market. This is not exciting at all. All right, there's nothing. There's no fireworks going on right now. Like yesterday morning, at least before CPI, Nasdaq was out of control. All right, let's move on to the economic calendar now. We're going to look at what's on tap, which is PPI. So core PPI year over year, what are we expecting? 4.2, previous 4.7. That's a pretty big drop off we're expecting here. Okay. Now, headline PPI expecting 4.9, previous 5.5. So another significant drop off expected. Let's see if we can hit that number. Okay. Now, I hope to not even be in the markets, but at 1 p.m. there is a 30-year bond auction. There is a 30-year bond auction. Okay. Is there any headlines to talk about Cisco? Let's see the Cisco thing. Let's see. All right. Cisco forecast fiscal 2027 revenue profit above Wall Street estimates on Wednesday, betting that the surging demand for network equipment and artificial intelligence infrastructure will sustain the growth into the year. But the company's stock dropped more than 5% in the pre-market U.S. trading on Thursday, as analysts noted that the returns, while robust, face sky-high Wall Street forecasts. Cisco stock has surged by more than 60% so far this year, reflecting the benefit from one-way demand for the gear needed to underpin cutting-edge AI systems. Okay, so it is down. Okay, that's some news. At 8:14, maybe this is causing the little pullback in the market right now. Iran. Trump's claim of controlling the strait is a lie. Shocker. That's not a shocker. Okay. Fed Hammock speaks at 8:15. Is there something going on with Trump today? President, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't see anything here. Let's see if there's any more news. Let's see if this is updated. It's not been the most reliable lately. No, it's not. Okay. And if we're going to go check out some breadth, there's not much to report here as well. We're still at 70% of stocks in the S&P 500 on buy signals. That's pretty frothy. Okay, we're consolidating. That is really, really frothy. Okay, we don't usually sustain that for that long. Maybe we get one push up and then the market pulls back. I don't know. I really don't. Okay, let's look at the NDX. %76% on buy signals. Okay, so definitely overall breadth is moving. Okay, real quick, we'll check in with the 20-day. 65% of stocks over the 20-day simple moving average. Okay, so that is not at the really the most frothy you can get, the 80%. Okay, that is not. But the overall market is moving up. So you do have an overall market that's moving up and consolidating. Okay. All right. We are going to move on. Boop. We'll get right into those market internals. We're about 9 minutes away from the PPI. So here's our market internals recap here. Again, okay, there was, let me get this. there was a little reversal yesterday. Notice we were getting weaker, right? And then I got long. I think when we pushed up, pulled back, I got long, but then I got stopped. And then when we came back here, I got long. And then I was able to hit my target. Okay. And look at the reversal. Whenever you see this, so this started out weak, and then you get this like, I'm trying to figure out a word to call this, but whenever you get like, oh, it's like 2 different days. It's like you're down, 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 and you trend up, trend up. It's pretty much a nice reversal. You usually, when it does this and it continues up, you basically have a nice day. Reverses what it did earlier. Okay, but basically balanced. This is very muted. This is not very strong. It's not. It was not even that weak. Okay, it's basically neutral. Hence, that's why I was trying to short up in here. Right here, I wanted to, and then that Trump news came out, social post, and that moved down. Right, couldn't take out that low, and then we moved up, and then guess what? We're in balance, and what did we hit? Last week's close, and then we sold off. That's what the market's supposed to do in balance. Okay, and it always looks like it's going to fall apart both ways. Oh my God, we're going to break out? Nope. Right? Internally, just everything neutral. All right, so that's your market internals recap. Um, but I mean, to say it, just one more week thing here. 4 out of the let me see this 4 or 5. 4 out of the 5 sectors that move our markets were definitely not strong. However, why I got long here is because all major stocks were bottoming at big support levels. And I said, this doesn't really have the legs to just take this out. Okay. And I was using that the NASDAQ yesterday held the 297s. Okay. It stayed above there into a demand zone and the previous day's highs. That's why I also got long here. So just wanted to let you guys know that. All right. Let's move on to the daily chart. There's really not a ton to talk about because we are in balance. Okay, so we are in balance. Five minutes till we get that data. I mean, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're coiling up, folks. We're going to make a move. It's last week's highs. We're going to make them with this 9 EMA daily. Now, you could either hit this price or time. So each day, this is going to keep rising. Okay. And you got what some people call the fan, where all moving averages, the quickest, the second quickest, the third quickest, the fourth quickest, are starting to all go up. That's usually very bullish. Okay. Where are we now? 773.55. 773.55. You're almost at last week's close. You are in the middle pretty much of the overnight. You're in the middle of yesterday. It's horrible. Trade location. Qs. Look where we went yesterday. That daily supply zone that we cannot break. Look at that. We went up, opened here, closed, closed down here. Not the most bullish, right? You kind of broke out of this 3-day balance, came right back, right? But where are we now? 723s. So the Nasdaq is relatively weaker this morning. You're at yesterday's lows. Yesterday's lows. Okay, now that's the big difference. Look at the moving averages. Remember I just said the SPY has fanned the moving averages? This is not. Look at the 50 days here. The 9 here. The 9's crossing the 50. The 9 crossed the 20. It's not all fanned out yet. So, I mean, this makes sense. We're not at all-time highs, right? In NASDAQ. Okay, let's look at futures. Look at that nasty daily supply zone. God. I mean, and we know we still have Nvidia earnings coming, but this thing, I just see it going higher. Okay, something happens, right? But this is just balance. It's a little uglier balance, but this is what we're working with, folks. This is what we are working with. Okay. Now let's move on to hourly charts here. It shows us the same thing. Okay. Now we are in ultimate balance. Okay. 775 is the most traded price of the month, the week, and yesterday. That continues to get the most volume. Okay, so when you're in balance, the market tends to trade around ultimate balance. So we're going to go down here, we can go back up here and stay in balance until we're not in balance anymore. Okay, until we're not in balance anymore. So if we come up here again, I mean, if it repeats, we're going to go find ourselves probably to come down to here. But I don't know. Okay, I really don't know. All right, that's your ES. There's not much to talk about. Like I said, let's look at the NASDAQ. There's got balance as well, right? And now the most traded price of the year is ultimate balance, big time ultimate balance. The 29754s is now your most traded price of this year. That's pretty significant. The most traded price of 2026. Let's zoom out to see why. Oh, yeah, that's why. All right. That is why, folks. Now we got 1 minute. 1 minute till this data comes out. Let's just go back. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you guys is the volume, right? So this is a relative volume that I have up. Ugh, we're at 43% of relative volume, normal volume. That is disgusting. I think I have this over the last 20 days or 10 days, something like that. 43% in the ES, 54% in the Nasdaq. That is disgusting. Okay, that is pretty low. Pretty low. Okay. I mean, I could show you that closer. That data's about to pop here. Let's see here. I can show you the relative volume here. There it is. 43%, 54%, and data's popping now. Boom. We got PPI. Let's look at it. Market's initially liking it. Let's see the data actually. Alrighty. Oh, market's gonna like that, I think. Let's see. So the headline consensus 4.9 came out lower than expected. Interesting. 4.7. Now core in line. Expected 4.2. We got 4.2. So better than expected here. In line here. I think that's probably nothing but a positive for the market. I don't think you can look at it negatively because maybe that, you know, lessens a Fed rate hike. We'll have to see. I really don't know. Okay, markets can do anything they want. Okay, doesn't matter what I think. All right, this is your ES, right? So where are we at? Ultimate balance. Not a shock. Market likes to go to value when we don't know what to do. Okay. There's a lot of stacked demand here. Again, there's probably wouldn't shock me if we came down here today. right? Do we break out today? I don't know that's going to happen, right? Maybe people are taking profits now. You really don't know what's going to happen, okay? I think I'm going to try to give you guys scenarios now. I don't think this market's going to move much from this. Now, you do have Nasdaq is relatively weak today. You do have that. So, does that carry into the real trading session? I don't know. Regular trading hours? I don't know. Let's look at this together. Okay. Here's our markup profile and our volume profile. Okay. Here's our balanced ES ultimate balance. Now, what do we have? Our overnight sessions inside our yesterday session. So automatically, your overnight low and overnight high becomes actionable areas with yesterday's high and low. Okay. So yesterday we came down, touched here. We didn't even come down to take this poor low out. Okay. We came into this demand with their toe and pushed higher. Now we're at ultimate balance, right? Midpoint. It's not a good area to be in. Let's open up this session. Okay. We just came into demand and ultimate balance. All right. So let's get right into scenarios now. Again, up top is 77, 94 to 98 area. That's the balance area high. The big balance low is really still the 7724s. Okay. So what happens in the grand scheme of things, I don't know. But let's get right into scenarios. And it's going to be very easy when you're in balance. Okay. Let me get my marker out. We're going to start with the longs right off the bat. Right. Remember I said we're inside yesterday's session with the overnight. So we're in demand, right? So what can happen? Pull back into here, 7775. Yesterday's most traded price as well. If you get a little bounce and a higher low, you're going to target overnight highs 7790s and then 7794s and then try to break out of the 77098s, 7800s. Maybe we can run, maybe not. Okay. If this market quickly disperses and goes to that overnight low, comes down into yesterday's lows, 7756s, and drops into this major demand. Okay. What I would be looking for, probably 7749s would be taken out. Boom. But you go right into another demand. If you recover higher low, you go long, target 7775. Maybe hold a runner to go higher. That's it, folks. Okay. Shorts. All right. Shorts. Now, obviously, if you come all the way up, break overnight highs, take out 7794s, try to take out 7798s, fail back into range, lower high, you short. Target 7775s. Target overnight low, 7764s, then yesterday's low, 7756, and then 7749s. Do we keep going? I don't know. Remember, we still have that 7724 balance area low. Conservatively, if you're like, I'm not sure what to do with this, right? If we do come down, take out the ultimate balance level of 7775 and the market is slowly grinding its way lower and it's holding, accepting price, and you retest 775, that's your short. And you can target 7756, 7749, 7738s. Okay. That is your ES. Guess I'm going to get a chance to do the NASDAQ. Okay. NASDAQ is holding the ultimate balance. Okay. 297 and a halves. Still very bullish. Ooh, this looks like it just caught a bid here. Let me break this out. It was just creeping lower here. Yeah, it's pushing up a little bit. All right, we came into a demand zone. Okay. So right off the bat, let's get right into the NASDAQ long and short trade scenarios. It's all about the 297 and a half. So you have to be bullish above that level. Okay, so we're going to start off with longs. Okay. Now, this is not a session that's nestled inside yesterday's session. We broke the yesterday's lows in the overnights. Okay. You're still above the week-to-date anchor view up. Okay. So any push lower that takes out the 297.80s and goes into the 297.50s and gets support. Okay. And remember, it's never perfect. Okay, I'm just giving, it might dip down below into this major demand zone here at 297, a little above 297s. It doesn't matter. It's all about time. Okay, so if it does this and just goes whoop, retest the 297 and a half. That's a long. Target 29924's overnight highs, and then you target the 30,000 yesterday's highs. Okay. Now, what's another alternative? Well, what if we come up, take out the overnight highs, still running to the supply, but then we find acceptance, 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 right? And then you pull back to yesterday's most traded price, that's your 299. Then you target 30,000s and see if we can go up to last week's highs, 30073. Did we break out? I don't know. I don't know. That's what I'm looking for. Shorts. Well, anything up in this area around the 30,000 area. So say if we just real quick come up here and take out 30,000. I want to see it quick. And I'm like, wow, this market's really not that strong. And you get a violent pullback, lower high. Yes, you target 299s. Then you target the overnight lows, 29780s. Okay. If you fall below the 297 and a halves, whoa. There's a lot of demand here, but this gravity could take hold, and boy, you can go down 29628s. Maybe you test that month-to-date anchor view up again, 29580s. Okay. It's kind of bullish short I'm interested in NASDAQ. So that's going to be it for me today. Okay. Just a little recap. If we go back to the ES, it's holding over 775. That is bullish. Okay. Remember, we're inside yesterday's range. So use the overnight high and overnight lows. NASDAQ, we just went over it. Over 297 and a half. You have to be bullish. Below it, bears have a shot. Bears have a shot. Okay. That is it for me, folks. Smash the like button if you enjoyed that analysis. That would mean a lot to me. Okay. Now, hopefully you join me every morning. Subscribe, set that alert, give me the market news, economic calendar, technical analysis, and I just gave you the long and short trade scenarios in the NASDAQ and ES futures. Okay. Now, if you want more in-depth coverage, you're going to join my Discord. Go Influence Trading. Go to my YouTube homepage, click on the link, and sign up. What are you waiting for? Let me be your indicator. All right. Everybody, we have a plan. It's pretty simple. You're in balance. Don't get fooled at the edges. Okay. We will break out one day, but we'll take some type of catalyst. Okay. Remember, no trade's a trade. Hopefully, I see you in my Discord. Come join me live. Should be on live around 9:45 a.m. Okay. I will not steer you wrong. Trust me. I will not steer you wrong. So, everybody have a great day. If I don't see you in my Discord,